You've set up your offshore company. You've picked your tax-friendly base. Now the real challenge begins. Where do you bank? Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful but misunderstood tools in global finance, offshore business banking. We're going to break down where the wealthy really bank, which offshore banks are actually accessible to entrepreneurs, and how to open an account without flying across the world. If you want to move your money out of reach from unstable governments, local inflation, or tax traps, this is your gateway. Let's get into it. Why offshore banking isn't just for the ultra-rich. Most people think offshore banking is shady. But in reality, it's how global entrepreneurs protect capital, reduce risk, and operate worldwide. The rich don't keep all their money in one country. They diversify currency, legal jurisdiction, and financial exposure, just like they do with investments. You don't need millions. You need a legal business, clean documentation, and the right banks. What makes a bank offshore? An offshore bank is simply a bank located outside your country of residence, often in a low or no-tax jurisdiction. They offer privacy protection in certain countries, multi-currency accounts, easier international transactions, less government interference, exposure to stronger or more stable economies. But not all offshore banks are created equal. Some are extremely exclusive. Some are low trust. Others are perfect for digital entrepreneurs and small businesses. So, let's get into the best offshore banks and platforms that are actually accessible right now. Category 1. Traditional offshore banks, strong, but selective. These are real, brick-and-mortar banks in tax-friendly jurisdictions. They usually require a company, a minimum deposit, and a compliance process, but they offer serious credibility. Bank of Singapore. Location: Singapore. Great for high-net-worth individuals and business owners. Strong banking secrecy and asset protection. Typically requires a minimum deposit of $200,000 plus. Private banking style. Lombardo Dia, Switzerland. One of the oldest and most respected Swiss private banks. Focused on asset management and private wealth. You'll need around $500,000 to get started. Very low risk, highly discreet. Key International Bank, Belize. More accessible with $1,000 to $5,000 minimum deposits. Offers personal and corporate accounts. Very pro-entrepreneur and remote-friendly. Regulated, with solid reputation for online businesses. These are solid, but unless you're sitting on six figures, let's talk practical options. Category 2. Remote-friendly digital offshore banks. If you want to open an account fully online, from anywhere, without flying to Singapore or Switzerland, these are your top picks. Wise Business, UK-based, globally available. Multi-currency IBANs. Send and receive money in over 40 currencies. Works great for remote founders and freelancers. Fast onboarding and low fees. Supports LLCs, free zone companies, and e-residency businesses. Pioneer. Especially good for digital businesses, e-commerce, freelancers. Receive USD, EUR, GBP into local accounts. Connects with Amazon, Fiverr, Upwork, Shopify. Easy to link to your offshore company. Mercury Bank, USA. Great for non-US founders with a Delaware or Wyoming LLC. Fully online setup. Works with Stripe, PayPal, and US clients. No monthly fees. Includes virtual cards, physical cards, FDIC-insured accounts. Revel Business. For European-based entrepreneurs. Multi-currency accounts, expense management, smart analytics. Easy integration with accounting software. Good option if your offshore structure touches Europe. These digital platforms are growing fast, and they're making offshore banking accessible to the rest of us. Category 3, UAE corporate accounts for free zone companies. If you followed our free zone company setup strategy from earlier videos, this part is for you. In the UAE, you can get a corporate bank account once your company and visa are approved. Top banks to consider: Emirates NBD, huge network, solid digital banking. Rakbank, great for startups and small businesses. Mashreq NeoBiz, fast digital onboarding for free zone companies. ADCB, reputable with personal and corporate options. What to expect? Minimum balance requirements of 25,000 to 50,000 AED. In-person or agent-assisted verification. Approval time from 2 to 6 weeks depending on your setup. Access to UAE payment networks, Visa cards, online transfers. If you want to keep your company and banking in a zero-tax zone, this is a strong path. What do you need to open an offshore business account? Regardless of where you go, banks will need a registered company in a legal jurisdiction, a clear business description, avoid crypto and less specialized, passport or ID of the UBO, ultimate beneficial owner, proof of address, utility bill, rental contract, or Emirates ID, company documents, certificate of incorporation, articles, etc. Business website and/or invoices if required. Banks are cautious now, so clarity, legitimacy, and low-risk business models win. Mistakes to avoid: picking a flashy bank in an unstable or poorly regulated country. Applying without a clean business structure, it'll get rejected. Using your passport country defeats the offshore purpose. Failing to understand currency restrictions or fees. Forgetting compliance updates, they will come. Final thoughts. Offshore banking isn't just about avoiding tax. It's about building resilience. If you're running a global business, you need access to stable currencies, flexibility in receiving payments, protection from legal or political instability, clean financial records that prove legitimacy. Start small. Open one remote-friendly account. Pair it with your offshore company. Then upgrade as your business grows. Would you open an offshore account for your business? If so, where? Drop your answer in the comments, we read every single one. And don't forget to subscribe to Rich Layer, because in the next video, we're doing a step-by-step breakdown of opening a company in a UAE free zone, and what to expect at every stage. See you there.